Labadiena. Mano vardas Donatas Maksumitas. Ačiū už galimybę pašnekėti tokioje nuostabioje auditorijoje, žiūrint į tokius nuostabius kūrinius kaip Skaitmeninės miestas. Ir mano tema yra nesusieta su klasifikatoriu. Mano tema ir mano pranešimas bus daugiau apie duomenų taisyklingumą. Dideli duomenys, big data, taip, tai yra kasdieninis šiuolaikinis informacinių technologijų gyvenimas. Jeigu žiūrėti į prekybos, mažmeninės prekybos tinklus, tokius kaip Maxima, Rimi ir panašiai, jie valdo didelius duomenis. Tik matėt prezentaciją, kad irgi yra naudojami dideli kiekiai duomenų. Semantiniai duomenų modeliai užtikrina tam tikrą duomenų kaitą, tam tikrą duomenų apsikeitimą. Taip. Tačiau kas yra labai svarbu, tai yra duomenų tikslumas. Taip. Mes žmonės įvedinėjom ar kūriam informaciją, tai yra kūriam duomenis, kurių pasiekoje yra atliekamos tam tikros funkcijos, tai yra tam tikrai algoritmai, jos analizuoja, jos struktūrizuoja ir perteikia mums skirtingais būdais. Tai lygiai taip pat noriu pašnekėti apie tą pačią BIM estetiką. Taip. Kaip ir su geometrija mes ir susitvarkom, lyg tai jau sutarėm, kas yra LOD 100, LOD 200, 300, 400 ir panašiai. Tačiau mes šiandien dar nešnekam apie savybės, savybių pavadinimus, apie savybių reikšmes ir panašiai. Skirtingos programinės įrangos, skirtingi procesai, skirtingi dalyviai, skirtingi tikslai kartais įneša mūsų BIM modeliuose chaoso, taip, ir po to mums yra sudėtinga atkurti tam tikrus informacijos, sakykime, struktūras, analizuoti ją. Yra begalės informacinių šaltinių, tokių kaip ETIM, kurie kūrė savo produktų duomenų bazę, kurios pagalba mes galim susirasti tam tikras savybės ir tam tikras savybių reikšmes. Yra begalės klasifikavimo sistemų, tiek toj pačioje Europoje mes galim surasti kiekvienoje šalyje skirtingas. Kitose valstybėse, tokie kaip CoClass, uniformatai, taip, egzistuoja ISO standartų, kurie irgi padeda mums klasifikuoti visą tą informaciją. Taip, tai ta pati BIM ontologija, taip, mums kas yra svarbu šiandien, tai yra... Ačiū. Pati ontologija mums yra labai svarbu, kad mes žmonės tarpusavyje susišnekėtumėm, kad mes žmonės susišnekėtumėm su informaciniam technologijom, kad informacinės technologijos tarpusavyje susišnekėtų ir kad vienas kitą suprastume. Taip? Tai mums reikalingas tam tikras terminų žodynas. Kurdami duomenis, naudodamiesi įvairias programinės įrangas, mes tikimės iš mūsų projektuotojų tam tikros informacijos, tam tikrų duomenų. Taip, tačiau retas, kuris iš jų galvoja apie sekančius procesus, tokius kaip pirkimai, logistika ir panašiai. Jie rūpinasi tik tai savo kūriniu, jie negalvoja apie sekančius dalyvius. Ir tai gali padėti klasifikavimas, taip, tarptautinis klasifikavimas, klasifikavimo integravimas ir panašiai. Taip pat klasifikuoti duomenys, aiškus duomenys, atpažįstami duomenys, jie gali būti apdoroti ir paruošti vartotojui naudoti. Turint gražius, aiškius, tikslius duomenys, mes galime įvairiausiais pjūviais analizuoti savo BIM modelius, taip, kaip ir šitam paveikslėlė, oro padavimas, oro paskirstimas. Ir lendant gilin mes galim analizuoti kiekvieną atšaką, smulkint visus ryšius. Žmonės, standartai, programinė įranga, procesai, gamyba, daiktų internetas, jie visi sąveikauja. Taip, ir mums yra labai svarbu harmonizuoti duomenų mainai. Ar šiandien Lietuva pasiruošus tam? Aš sakyčiau taip, mes žengiam labai sparčiai į priekį. Mes sparčiai taikom ir diegiamės naujas inovatyvias technologijas savo projektavimo metu. Ir taip, Lietuva yra pasiruošus. Ar Lietuva pasiruošus integruoti su kitomis valstybėmis? Taip, Lietuva yra pasiruošus. Kadangi mes jau turime integruotą klasifikavimo sistemą, mums reikia partnerių, mums reikia komandos, kuri padėtų sparčiau judėti ir tvarkyti su standartais, su klasifikatoriais ir panašiai. Noriu pasididžiuoti tuo, kad Lietuva, tai yra skaitmeninė statyba, sugebėjo ir suvienijo skirtingas šalis, pateikė paraišką Europos Sąjungos paramai gauti, taip, ir suvienijo jėgas, parašėm projektą, kuris vadinasi BIM Exchange, ir tikimės, kad greitų metų, tai yra per rugpjūčio mėnesį, bus finansuotas mūsų projektas, o projekto tikslas tai yra harmonizuoti duomenų mainus Baltijos jūros regione. Tai aš tiek. Vietoj klasifikavimo sistemos mano kalbos aš kviečiu svečią gerbiamą poną Klasą, kuris papasakos, kaip yra klasifikuojama Švedijoje. Ačiū labai.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's obviously an honor to be here. It feels good to be among friends. It feels very good that we're in this together. And Donatas has given an excellent introduction to my short speech here. It's all about language. The last 5 years, I have been dedicated to working with classification in order to help us find a common language for use between computers and between people. So I will start by showing you a short movie.
When several players are to work together, they need to start from common ground. In the building sector, we are acutely aware of this necessity. It arises when we use different words to describe the same things, when our software systems can't communicate, and when we haven't clearly agreed who will do what and when. CoClass gives us the common ground we need to communicate clearly throughout the building process, from initial idea to operation and maintenance. This is a client, and this is his team of consultants. They are going to build a new school. The architect creates a model of the school using CoClass to assign a classification and a unique ID to each room and element. A software plugin generates both the classification and the ID. Here he's inserting a window. The ID shows that it's a window on the ground floor of the facade. As the planning and design progresses, the architect enters additional properties for the window, once again structuring the data using CoClass. This data might include color, material, U-value, acoustic rating, and fire rating. When the engineer is ready to do her energy calculations, she uses the data already added by the architect, even if she doesn't use the same software. This is possible because they are using the same concepts and data. The same goes for the consultant doing the lighting calculation, the consultant doing the sound calculations, and so on. A couple of months further on, the consultants are still using the same data. They complete the tender documents and transfer the information into the bill of quantities. When the contractor receives the material, his software can recognize the window data, and it's easy for him to search manufacturers' databases for a window that meets the specified requirements. He calculates prices and transfers them to the bill of quantities. Later, when it's time to install the window, he can use the ID and the properties added by the consultants. The data tells him where to place the window, and the correct installation instructions are easy to find. And it doesn't stop here. When the contractor and the team of consultants hand over the school, they also hand over the data the client needs for the daily operation of the building. So when the window is due for maintenance or a pane breaks, he can rely on the data entered back when the foundations was only a shallow ditch. That's what we mean when we say that CoClass can be used throughout the building process, from initial idea to operation and maintenance. If you want more information regarding CoClass, feel free to contact us by email or visit our website. This animation was originally produced to present the Danish CCS from Muljo, which adheres to the same international standards as CoClass. This means that the systems are fully compatible.
So, you see how easy it is. So why are we sitting here being confused? Well, obviously, we have a lot of work to do before we get this far. We developed CoClass in close cooperation with primarily Denmark, and it's based on an international standard. I will talk a bit more about that later. You're welcome to come to our website. You need to register. It's free of cost, and you can browse around and see the system. I don't have the time now to look into all the details, obviously, but here you see all the tables we have, all the tables working all the way from the whole construction complexes down to properties and maintenance activities. So what is CoClass? Well, it's based on standards, as I say. We have a basic standard for how to view the built environment. And then we have a series of standards that are common between ISO and IEC, the Electrotechnical Commission, which means that it covers, you might say, everything that is built. We have the part 1 that gives principles for reference designations on how to keep track of things to identify objects. We have the new part 2 coming out this year, which gives classes for components and for built space. And we have a new standard, part 12, with classes for systems, ventilation systems, wall systems, and so on. We have connected everything to IFC. The IFC is important for us as a transfer format and so on. But all the objects and classes and properties in IFC are mapped to CoClass. And we are preparing to, and we are working with putting a lot of data into the Building Smart Data Dictionary. So what CoClass does is giving a view of the built environment of different complexities, starting from the whole living area, for instance, to the building itself, to the built spaces, to the parts, the elements making up the building, how to build, the work result, and so on, and also maintenance activities. We do not yet have tables for products and labor and so on. That is a different world. We will leave that to the producers. Here's another view of the same system with the tables starting from the whole complex all the way down to the work result and the resources needed. And really, classification is not that difficult. You need to start with a clear aim on why you need the classification. And what CoClass does is start by defining functions. And this is the only classification system, I would say, that it actually have definitions of everything. A window, for instance. A window is a controlling object. It controls something. It controls access to a space. And what, you might say? Well, it controls access for light, obviously. You can use a window for many other things. You can open it up to let the air in. You can open it up to jump out if there's a fire. But basically, we say in CoClass that a window is an object for controlling access of flow to a space, allowing light entry only. So it's closely related, obviously, to a door, but it's also related to a light switch. A light switch is also a controlling object. And by having this very functional view, you don't get very many classes, and you get a clear definition of everything. And that is very important. And the rest is properties. Here's a man laying a floor, NCC floor layering, a finishing object of a floor. And at an early stage, all you know is that you need a floor cover, right? And then you can discuss what kind of floor cover you need. Should it be linoleum, plastics, laminate, laminated parquet? And finally, the client says, yes, I want laminated parquet. And then you can say, okay, you can use a production result. This is from the Swedish production result table saying, how to actually construct the floor. So it gives you the working instructions. But all of this is properties. It is always an NCC flooring. That is a life cycle, stable name for that object. And if you need to change it, you keep the class, you simply update the property. Here's a quick view of these systems, the functional systems within the building. You need the ground, the walls, the slabs, the roofs, and so on. You need ventilation, electrical systems, and so on. These are, I mean, hopefully familiar terms. What we have done is given them all definitions, making it clear what they actually do. And if we zoom in a bit on the wall system, we have in CoClass developing a large number of types of systems. So here, for instance, the basic types, exterior and interior wall systems. This is just function. You don't need to know anything about how it's designed, how it's constructed. So the client can say, well, obviously I want exterior walls, I want them to look nice, I want them to be energy efficient, and so on. And the next step is for the consultants or the contractors to decide on how to actually construct it. So the next step we call the constructive systems or the technical systems, saying, how do you want to build that wall? Well, I want a solid core, maybe concrete, or maybe I want a truss core using wood. And then you can discuss what is more efficient, what is gives the least impact to the environment, and so on. And after that discussion, you decide on how to do the actual design, the actual construction. And then you see the components making up this wall construction. You have the wall cover, you have insulation, you have windows, doors, and so on. So you get a multi-level code like this, saying this is a wall cover in a wall construction with a solid core on an exterior wall system. And the next step is to number all the instances so you can keep track on every individual. So what do you use it for? Well, you can keep track on the objects. Here's a simple wall with a gypsum board. And in the model, all you need to know is the class code and the wall saying that this is a wall covering. And the rest you can add properties as you like. This is, for instance, the work result telling you how to construct it. And here we have links to Building Smart Data Dictionary containing a definition of what the gypsum board is. So different parties can agree on what we are talking about. This is a gypsum board. And you can also connect it to databases dealing with products. So here's the ETIM class. Donata showed a picture of all the properties that ETIM can combine or add to this. So CoClass doesn't need that. ETIM can keep track of all the properties that are connected to the specific gypsum board. I know this is hard for you to see all the details, but what we want to show here is that starting from this simple model showing a wall cover, we can go all the way down to the individual manufacturer of the gypsum boards and even a 40 package of gypsum boards, and you can get the pricing and so on. So as was shown in the film, the contractor, based on all these properties, can find the best reseller of this specific gypsum board. So what we are looking at is making it possible, and what we believe is that we have now the language needed for this process to work all the way from the designer and the contractor to the manufacturer, packing and selling and transporting the goods all the way to the construction site. And you can use the CoClass classification, the reference designation. You can use ETIM, you can use GTIN, and all these technologies needed now to keep track on the individual objects from the very design phase all the way to construction and eventually, of course, to maintenance. And we are very excited to be part of this application. We hope, of course, we will get the money, the funding for this. Even if we don't, I'm sure that we will keep on this cooperation within the Baltic region. We have so much in common, I would say. Sweden and Denmark have now agreed to continue developing standards based on this 81346 series. In Sweden, we have CoClass, which is the Swedish version of this standard. The Danes have the CCS system. We are very closely related, and we hope that the Baltic countries, Finland, Norway, starting there. We even heard news that Kazakhstan are very positive to this. So we think that this could be a major influence on, hopefully, the rest of the BIM world, showing that once you get united, having a common language, cooperation between countries makes it, between countries and between all the parties in the building process, becomes so much easier. Thank you.
And one question from the audience for you too, Mr. Klaas. So one person from the audience asks, how about custom properties? Is CoClass a classification system or identification system?
Well, it's both. It classifies as, well, it gives you the classes, it gives you the name and the code for all the objects. And we have a set of properties, right now about 750 properties. And if you need custom properties, I mean, obviously you can always do, in a specific project, make your own. But if you want to use CoClass and want to use it in a sort of official way, you can come to our website, you can say, hello there, we need another property. We need to describe something that we haven't thought of. And you can give us that suggestion. And if we find it's a good suggestion, we will put it into CoClass. CoClass is constantly evolving. We have meetings every month discussing suggestions coming in from our users. So it's ever developing. You are most welcome to help us with this development.